Hi there, welcome to Camping Secrets. I'm Marky Mark, and today we're going to continue our little series on the Mercedes Marco Polo Campervan. It's just a short little video discussing today the water system. Now, the Marco Polo only can give you cold water. It's got two tanks in it. It's got a freshwater tank and a wastewater tank. The freshwater tank's 38 litres capacity, and the waste tank is about 40 litres, so a little bit bigger just in case of emergencies. So I'm going to take you through where these tanks are located, how you fill them up, how you empty them, and then if things go wrong, I'll show you how to access the top of those tanks in order to troubleshoot and see if there's any problems. So let's dig into this. So in terms of filling up the freshwater tank, that 38 litre tank, it's pretty simple really. We go to the back left-hand side, sort of opposite, so this is the curb side of the van in the UK, and there's a little flap on the back of the camper van here, which opens up, and this has two functions. It's got the electrical hookup, the 240 volt mains supply to the van, and then it also has the access to the water tank. So there's a standalone key which comes with the Mercedes Marco Polo, and all this does is open up the access to the freshwater tank. As I say, it's under this flap here, so we just simply stick this in, turn it, and then unscrew, and the cap comes undone, exactly like a petrol cap. And then we can simply get I like to use a disinfected plastic tube here, and that goes into the freshwater tank, and then you connect to a tap and fill it up. As I say, 38 litres to fill up. Easy as pie. And once that's done, just put that back in, lock it up, job done. So once you've filled up your tank, you can actually see the level that you filled it up to on the control panel in the front of the camper van. Now, we've got a 2018 model Marco Polo, and so it actually has the main control panel down here in between the seats, the front seats. In the newer Marco Polos, from about 2020 to 2021 onwards, it uses the MBAC system, which actually shows the same information but as part of the integrated software of the Mercedes. It's a neater solution. I don't really like this little control panel down here, but it does the job. So if we just go in here, so that shows the battery, and I'll go through this in another video, but you can see we actually got this second one here, and if we click on that, it shows on the left the freshwater level, and on the right the wastewater. You can see that the freshwater is full at the moment, and there's nothing in the wastewater. That's soon going to change once I get started with the taps. Okay. So when you first get your Marco Polo from the dealership, you often find that the sink, which is just here, you get in expecting everything to work nicely. You get in, you turn, and you open the tap and nothing comes out. And that's because the fuse is normally kept in the glove compartment and it is not activated. So it's actually fuse number 2, which is located, and I'll be showing later in this video if you stick around, fuse number 2 just down under the rear seat, and that needs to be plugged in before the tap will work. So we filled up the water, and it's simply a case of opening up the tap here, and you get a really good spray of water here, quite good pressure. I mean, the sink is only small, and you can't really, as it's only cold water, you're not going to be able to really wash your dishes nice and thoroughly, but it's good for brushing your teeth or just washing your hands. So that water basically drains out of the sink into the wastewater tank. So the easiest way to see the wastewater tank is to open up one of these drawers. So this top right hand drawer in the Marco Polo is actually the cutlery drawer. So if I open that up, you can see I've got our cutlery drawer in here. And if you look inside, you should be able to just see the top of the wastewater tank. It's actually right at the back there. And the easiest way to get access to it properly is to take out this drawer. So this is quite a simple procedure. There's actually a little tab on the side here, and also a little similar tab underneath just here. So I'm just going to remove that. So it's just a finger here on the side, pull back, and then a finger underneath, and it becomes loose. You can literally just pull it out of the runners there. So now, if we grab the camera and actually look at the back, I don't know if I can put a light on, can I? Yep. So the wastewater is actually this tank right at the back. You can see my hand is now around the lid of that. So if you ever get any problems with the wastewater, say it's blocked up or something, or there's an airlock, then you can remove this drawer and unscrew that. But you don't need to do that to empty it. Obviously that's on the top of the wastewater tank, that lid, and so it's not going to help you drain it unless you siphon out. There is another way of emptying the wastewater, which we'll look into now. So as you run the tap more and more, the wastewater tank will fill up and up until you get a signal, an alarm basically, on the control panel which says you're full. And at that point you don't want to keep putting water into the sink, because the sink will just fill up, that water will have nowhere to go. So you need to know how to empty your wastewater tank. So you have to go under a different cupboard here, and actually it's this bottom cupboard. So let me just film this. So if we just open up this, and it's on the lower shelf, so I'm going to have to crawl down now. It's a little fiddly to do. But if we just come under this cupboard, the bottom cupboard of the Marco Polo, you can see this little aperture in the sidewall, and it has a little sign on it, and basically there's a lever here which, when it's flush inside this sidewall, it's the wastewater will not flow, but if you pull it out, then the water will flow out of the wastewater tank. Now you want to make sure when you do that you're above a proper drain on a campsite, and so that you don't pollute the earth or whatever. As a demo, I'm just going to film it under here. You can see wastewater draining onto my drive. Nice. Okay, I'm just sat in the boot of my Marco Polo here, and I just wanted to discuss what you do if you want to leave your camper van over the winter, or if you have a problem with the freshwater tank. And basically you just need to get access to the top of the freshwater tank so that you can clear it out, empty it, sterilize the tank, and so especially you don't want to leave water or liquid in the waste tank or the freshwater tank over the winter months in case it freezes. You can get all sorts of problems with blockages and air traps and things like that. So first I'm going to show you how to gain access to the top of the water tank for sterilization purposes. Actually, we use Milton tablets to sterilize the water tank, basically baby sterilization tablets. So there's a few things you have to do really. It's not the most straightforward, but the freshwater tank's actually located inside this cupboard. So let's go on a little mission to see if we can gain access to that lid of the freshwater tank. All right. So I've removed the backrest of the of the downstairs bed just to gain access to this wardrobe, and we can just open this up here, have a look inside. So what have we got? So this is the cupboard. So we've actually taken this. There was a shelf here, and got this shelf here. And actually, the freshwater tank is underneath this shelf. So it's got these little steadies here, which need removing before you can lift up this. They're actually blocking us removing it. So I found it best to use a knife for this, just to remove that like that. And then that comes off like that. So then we simply lift this up. So this is the lid of the water tank. Requires a bit of strength to remove it, and then you've got the exit pipes and the electrics for the water pump. Now some people have sort of found when they first get their Marco Polo, I mentioned before that the fuse wasn't in place, but some people have also had a jammed water pump, and you need to put your hand in this tank and just give it a shove to get it going again if that happens to you. So it's something to bear in mind. Let's try and undo this, but I need 2 hands to do it. I use my Herculean strength there to undo it. Anyone who knows me knows that's me being ironic. And then down in the tank, you can see the water there. Now, as I say, I'm going to show you now how you can empty this, because obviously you can just you could have the waste tank open and just run the tap continuously until all the water had gone, but that would probably take a long time. There's a quicker way of emptying the water tank if you want the fresh water, that is. If you just want to get the water out for laying up over winter or just for general sterilising, if you're not going to use the van for a while. So let's talk you through that now. So let's just put that back in there. So it's a twofold procedure really. First you need to remove the fuse, because we're going to basically turn on the sink to open up the airlock in order to empty the freshwater tank. So let's show you where that fuse number 2 is for future reference. And actually gain access to this underneath the camper van, but you have to move the table out of the way before you can do that. So let me go and do that. So you can move the table. I found that Marco Polo ownership is all about moving things from one place to another. So here's the fuse box. It's underneath the chair, and it's fuse number 2. This 10 amp fuse here, I believe. So you basically pull that out. Now, if we go to the sink, it presumably won't work, I hope. So nothing coming out. So to empty the freshwater tank, you keep that tap switched on. And what that means is there's no danger of burning out the water pump. You don't want the freshwater tank to be empty and then the pump is on, it will burn out that motor. So we're pretty much set up now. We've done the fuse, we've opened up the tap. The last thing to do is to actually empty the freshwater tank. And the way you do that is this little control here. It's just a stop cock basically, which you pull out. So you pull out this like that. Sometimes it takes a bit more strength than that. And then you can see the fresh water draining out underneath. But I'm going to push it back in because I don't want to drain all my fresh water at this time. One other thing to mention about the freshwater tank is you can attach a shower to here. I don't actually own the shower attachment that works, so that's something I want to buy. But there's a little electrical switch here which then pumps water out, and so you can wash down your boots, your bike, or even your dog, I guess. I don't think I'd shower myself, that might be a little too cold for me. So let's put the fuse back in. Before I do that, I'll just turn the tap off. Shut that off, close down. Head back. Grab the fuse. There we go. That's in. So now we should still have water back here. Yep, great stuff. So basically that's the whole water system gone through there. I showed the concept of the freshwater tank, the wastewater tank, how to fill up the freshwater tank, how to empty it in a hurry. You can always just run the tap with the waste tank open, or even just empty the whole freshwater fully into the wastewater tank. Wastewater tank's big enough to hold all of the fresh water. So there's multiple ways of doing this. I've also shown you how to access the top of each tank. So the freshwater tank here in this rear cupboard, and then the wastewater tank under the cutlery drawer. So it's worth knowing that just in case you ever get a blockage or you want to sterilize any of these tanks. You've also got the shower attachment here, which I wasn't able to demonstrate, but it's definitely something I want to get. Just haven't got around to it yet after 4 years. So I hope you found this short video entertaining and interesting and informative. Please like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to our channel. We're really trying to grow it. And there's going to be plenty more videos about the Mercedes Marco Polo and all aspects of camping. So thanks for watching. I've been Marky Mark on campingsecrets.co.uk. See you soon. Bye.